What is up, guys? Okay, what if the multi-billion-dollar technology we are using right now to communicate across the deepest, darkest voids of our solar system was actually predicted thousands of years ago? Today, we are diving into an explainer of a newly analyzed, completely mind-bending comparative study, and it reveals this shocking, hidden connection between modern astrophysics and ancient Vedic texts. Seriously, think about the stakes here for a second. We are talking about a scenario where modern deep space data streams might literally seem to glitch right into ancient wisdom. As we're firing signals at rovers on Mars and way beyond, are we charting completely new scientific territory? Or are we just rediscovering universal truths that were written down millennia ago? All right, let's dive into this by defining the absolute pinnacle of communication that modern science is just desperately chasing right now. It's called zero frequency. Now, this isn't just some dry technical jargon. Think of it kind of like trying to hear a pin drop while standing in the front row of a heavy metal concert. Now, scale that concert up to the size of the entire solar system. Zero frequency is this ultimate conceptual quest to perfectly silence all that cosmic noise, so our data comes through flawlessly across billions of miles. It's literally the holy grail of space tech. To crack how we actually achieve this, researchers are doing something incredibly fascinating. They're using this completely unique dual-lens approach, directly cross-referencing cutting-edge space exploration data with ancient philosophical observations. This newly analyzed document presents a comparative narrative that just brilliantly fuses these two seemingly opposite worlds together to solve the ultimate communication puzzle.
Part 1. Silent Zones and Akasha.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is understanding the physical roadblock we're hitting out there. In modern science, deep space exploration faces what we call silent zones. Imagine driving your car through a massive mountain tunnel and immediately losing your GPS, your radio, your cell service, everything. Now, scale that tunnel up to the size of Jupiter. These are vast, dark areas in deep space where our rovers and satellites hit massive distances or physical obstructions, like planets and moons, and point-to-point linear communication just completely breaks down and goes totally dead. But thousands of years ago, ancient scholars conceptualized the universe very differently through the idea of Akasha tattva. Through the Vedic lens, Akasha isn't merely a dead, empty vacuum of nothingness. Instead, picture an invisible ocean. Rather than an empty void, it's a primary permeating medium filled with water that connects absolutely everything. In this ancient view, the environment itself is entirely capable of carrying information way beyond simple, straight lines. So we've got this massive contradiction. Modern space agencies look out and see a dead-end wall in space where signals just get blocked. Meanwhile, ancient scholars looked out and saw this vast web of hidden side streets. On one side, point-to-point signals fail. On the other, information naturally moves beyond linear paths. It's a fundamental shift from seeing space as this cold, empty room to seeing it as a highly connective, living medium. Which brings us to part 2, routing the flow of prana. To actually survive those deep space dead ends, modern science engineered something called PEXT. That stands for the Polylingual Experimental Terminal. Honestly, PEXT is essentially a hyper-advanced Google Maps for space data. When a primary signal gets blocked by a cosmic traffic jam, a silent zone, PEXT uses dynamic routing to instantly switch networks. It actively hunts for a viable side street, jumping networks to make sure the data continuously flows and stays alive. But here's the kicker. Millennia before we engineered PinX to keep our data alive, Vedic scholars described a concept called prana. Think of your own human body, your veins, your nervous system. Prana is the life force that flows through channels known as nadis. And crucially, just like water flowing down a mountain, prana always chooses the path of least resistance to maintain the connectivity and the survival of life within a biological system. Okay, this is where the connection becomes absolutely mind-blowing. Space engineers are inadvertently building a digital version of an ancient biological life force system. PXT isn't just blasting ones and zeros out into the void hoping for the best. It's dynamically choosing the path of life for data packets, exacting how prana flows to maintain biological connectivity. Our most advanced routing tech perfectly mirrors this ancient physiological philosophy. Crazy, right? But what happens when we scale this whole thing up? Because we aren't just sending a single text message to Mars anymore. The scale of this concept expands from a single data signal desperately finding its way to the entire cosmos essentially talking to itself. Part 3. The Galactic Internet. Guys, this is not science fiction anymore. We are talking about a solar system-wide Wi-Fi network. The galactic internet is physically connecting our deep space rovers, orbiting satellites, and eventual lunar bases into one massive interdependent grid. We're talking about machines that are millions of miles apart, dynamically chatting with each other completely autonomously. Enter Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family. This profound ancient Sanskrit understanding states that absolutely nothing exists in isolation. Everything is fundamentally interconnected. It's a philosophy that views the entire universe as a single, living, breathing entity, where every single part relies on the other. Just think about the incredible irony here. We are using cold, hard metal, solar panels, and computer code to fulfill an ancient spiritual prophecy of absolute cosmic unity. Modern science is literally wiring the solar system to act like one massive, interdependent family. The technological grid we're engineering today perfectly physically manifests the Vedic belief that all parts of the universe are fundamentally bound together. But to make this whole universal family talk seamlessly, we have to solve one final, massive mystery. Part 4. Decoding zero frequency. So, to make the galactic internet actually work, we've got to dodge the unimaginably loud background noise of the universe. We're talking cosmic radiation, solar flares, massive interference. Modern researchers are testing something called signal frequency hopping to bypass this. Imagine a frog rapidly hopping across lily pads to avoid a predator. Our data signals are actively hopping across different frequencies to avoid cosmic noise and achieve a pure, uninterrupted transmission. And this leads us to the ultimate revelation. Lowering into the absolute depths of this mystery, we find the ancient concept of Anahata Nada. This translates to an eternal, unstruck vibration. It's the sound of absolute stillness existing before or entirely beyond audible frequency. It represents a perfect, untouched state of transmission. Modern physics is on this highly technical, multi-billion-dollar quest, hunting for the exact same absolute stillness that ancient mystics meditated for years to find. We're looking for an interference-free transmission to beam our data. And the Vedic lens offers Anahata Nada as this breathtaking, poetic metaphor for that exact same absolute clarity. Now, to be completely clear here, we aren't saying this analysis scientifically proves ancient texts through modern physics or that mystical powers built our satellites. Not at all. Instead, this source document offers a brilliantly creative way to view our current technological progress through an ancient cultural lens. It's a testament to the raw power of human curiosity. Whether we were wearing robes 3,000 years ago staring up at the stars, or wearing lab coats today crunching telemetry data, human curiosity is driving us toward the exact same answers. It is a beautiful synthesis of where we came from and exactly where we're heading. So the next time you look up at the night sky, ask yourself, as we wire the cosmos together and hunt for zero frequency, are we inventing the future? Or are we just engineering what ancient minds already knew was there? It's an electrifying thought. Stay curious, guys, and keep your eyes on the stars.